Guys, welcome to Solo ReacTalk. Today is Warcraft Monday, and I've been requested to react to some cinematics from the Eternity's End expansion of Shadowlands, and it's not part of Jesse Thoughts cinematics and trailers. This is something else, but it's still related to World of Warcraft, Shadowlands Eternity's End. So it will be part of that playlist, of the World of Warcraft cinematics and trailers playlist. And the person who suggested that I should watch these three specific cinematics, one of them was lost, or YouTube couldn't find it exactly. I don't know what was going on. Like, I tried refreshing the screen, I tried putting back the link, it still didn't work. So I couldn't find one of the cinematics. So I searched online for something that was similar to what's going on in terms of Sylvanas Judgment cutscenes. The only one I could find was part 2. Part 1 I could not find from the suggestions, so I decided to look in another YouTube channel to see if they have this cinematic. So I got something similar to it. I'm not sure if it's part of it. And Pelagos becomes the new Arbiter. Yeah, that's the first cinematic. The second one will be Judgment Part 2, Shadowlands Eternity's End game cutscene. And then finally, Sylvanas Judgment cutscenes, Shadowlands Epilogue and Windrunner reunion. Yeah. Okay, yeah, those are the three cinematics. Let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Pelagos. What do you mean?
In service to the Shadowlands, I offer my soul.
What? No.
I have yet to ascend, Clea. Perhaps there was a reason for it.
But your soul! You do not have to do this.
I know. This is my choice, sister. My purpose.
I do not want to let you go.
Our souls are bound as one. We will never be apart.
A new voice freely offered. A worthy soul, pure and unburdened. Balance restored.
Oh, okay. That was Pelagos becomes the new Arbiter. I don't know who Pelagos is. I think the sister Kalea. I think I've seen her before with Uther, maybe. If I'm not mistaken. If that's the same lady I saw, I'm not sure. But I think I know her. And that husk body there, was that the jailer's body, or is that the previous Arbiter, her body? Is that her body on the floor there, and now Pelagos' soul got transferred into it, and now he's become the new Arbiter? Is that exoskeleton, if I can call it that, is that the jailer's one, or was that the Arbiter's exoskeleton suit? Yeah, I'm just curious about that. And yeah, I guess we have a new Arbiter, and it's a guy this time. Interesting. Very interesting. He looks like a Super Saiyan. I'm serious. The way he was smiling, and then he was like... he looked like a Super Saiyan of some sort. I don't know. Dragon Ball Z, you guys ruined me now. Every time I see someone glowing with blonde hair and with this glowing skin, I'm just thinking Super Saiyan. Alright, let's continue.
Below lies the maw, an unjust fate to which you doomed so many. And it will be there that your penance begins. Every soul lost in its depths, betrayed or condemned, you shall find and send forth to the Arbiter, to be judged with the compassion all souls deserve. You will toil there, under Dorotha's watchful eye, scouring every darkened reach, until the final soul is free, and you are all that remains. This is how you shall bring renewal to your victims and my people.
However long it takes, it shall be done.
Undo Falador, old friend. Watch her well.
The flow of soul.
Okay. That was Judgment Part 2 of Shadowlands Eternity's Endgame cutscene. Yes, the judgment that Tyrande, gave to Sylvanas, that's interesting. I would have thought maybe it would have been the Arbiter who would do such a thing. But maybe that's the reason why, I'm missing part 1 right now to that cinematic. Hopefully in this Sylvanas Judgment cutscene I'll be able to find out the reasons. But yeah, that was an interesting judgment by Tyrande. And also, I'm just wondering how many people will Sylvanas have to look for then? How many souls would she have to look for in the Maw? Because she killed a lot of people. She killed a lot of people. From the World Tree itself, I don't know how many people were living in that structure, but it must have been hundreds of thousands of people. And even before that, during the small other skirmishes leading up to the World Tree, that also killed a lot of people. And even after the destruction of Teldrassil, during her time, after that, during her time in that city, what was it called again? I think it was Lordaeron, yes, where she was fighting against the Alliance. She also killed a lot of people then. So there's a lot of souls that she has to, rescue from the Maw. There's a lot of people. And it's going to be a very, very long journey for redemption or some sort of healing for her. And maybe that's what she needs, Maybe that's exactly what she needs. So it's an interesting judgment coming from Tyrande. And I agree with it wholeheartedly. And yeah, I also saw her sisters there. Sylvanas Windrunner's sisters. Verissa, I think one of the sisters' name was Verissa, and Alaria, I think. I can't remember the other sister's name, but yeah, I think it's Alaria or Allure, something like that. Sorry, guys. Okay, the next one, or should I say the final cinematic, is called Sylvanas Judgment Cutscenes, Shadowlands Epilogue and Windrunner Reunion. Alright.
Souls into the Maw has ended. The Covenants and the Shadowlands have been restored. Only one task remains. Sylvanas Windrunner, the time for your judgment is at hand.
I'm guessing this is part of part 1, the cinematic for the Judgment, I think.
There can be no true justice without compassion. And I can see your deeds bear the mark of the jailer's influence. An influence we failed to contain.
The jailer did not control me. My actions were mine alone, and I accept their consequences.
Then, you know in your heart to whom you must answer.
I submit to the judgment of Tyrande Whisperwind.
Entrusting justice to your most fervent adversary. Are there any gathered here who object to this fate? So be it.
What game do you play now, Banshee? The Sylvanas I hunted would never submit to the blade of her enemy.
Death would be a merciful end, Tyrande. And I do not expect your mercy.
Your newfound remorse might be genuine, but it can never erase all you have done. There will be no peace for you, Windrunner, until there is peace for the souls of your victims. The prisoner is in my charge now. Bring her!
Okay, yeah, I'm assuming that was part of part 1 of the Judgment cinematic. Yeah, Tyrande and Jaina, though, the way they have those death stares, like, you know, like this bee, how dare she walks in front of us like this, you know. It was so funny. I really like how Tyrande was just, you know, looking at her, like, really, you could feel the intensity, that hatred that she has for this lady. And then when the new Arbiter was asking, is there anyone objecting, then they would show Jaina's face, and Jaina was pissed. She was pissed. She was done with this stuff. She wants it over and done with. She just wants her dead, probably. It was so funny to see. Really, the most animated characters in this cinematic were definitely Jaina and Tyrande. Like, those two, oh gosh. Oh gosh. And the fact that she, Sylvanas I'm talking about, the fact that she decided to, you know, have a judgment passed by her mortal enemy, or, you know, the person that hates her the most, which is Tyrande, is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. I wonder what the new Arbiter would have said or would have done, really. He seems like a very like a kind person, a too much of a kind person. I don't know. I just feel like he wouldn't really give a very tough sentence. He just doesn't give off that energy, you know, for justice. I understand reconciliation and to understand, you know, the side of the perpetrator and try to rehabilitate them back into society. I understand all of that stuff, right? But not with this. Not with the actions that Sylvanas committed. No. So I'm with Tyrande with her judgment, really. Yeah.
True justice brings both punishment and renewal. I trust in Tyrande to achieve both.
And now, after so long, there is much we need to say to one another.
I know, sisters. But judgment comes.
Below lies the maw, an unjust fate to which you doomed so many. And it will be there that your penance begins. Every soul lost in its depths, betrayed or condemned, you shall find and send forth to the Arbiter, to be judged with the compassion all souls deserve. You will toil there, under Dorotha's watchful eye, scouring every darkened reach, until the final soul is free, and you are all that remains. This is how you shall bring renewal to your victims and my people.
However long it takes, it shall be done.
Undo Falador, old friend. Watch her well. The Banshees.
Okay. Before I continue, let me just discuss a bit. Yeah, this judgment that Tyrande has made, right? It has the makings of like a story now. A warrior who's been cast down into the pits of hell, if I can call it that, to act as warden, maybe. I don't know who's the leader of the Maw now. I mean, who's the new jailer? I don't even think there's going to be a new jailer. I think it's just going to be people down there now. And, Sylvanas is now the... I don't know what you can call her, really. She's not a jailer, so... I don't know. It's just someone who's been sent down there to find souls and to bring them back up to the Arbiter's decision making, I think. I don't know. But it has the makings of a story that you would tell your children and their children's children down the line, hundreds of thousands of years later into the future, saying that there is a very powerful being or a godlike creature stuck in the Maw with her trusty owl searching for souls to set them free from the Maw. It kind of gives me that sense of like a bedtime story. But yeah. And Tyrande, like, I never knew how fit this lady was until now. When every time when they showed her moving around Sylvanas, and then you'd see her back, you'd see the muscle. Like, really, she's she's tough. She's tough, this lady, and she's tall. She's so tall. She's even taller than Sylvanas, which is also quite interesting to see. So yeah, hey, and her expressions, especially when she's talking to Sylvanas, you'd see her teeth coming out, like it's quite interesting. It's really, really interesting to see her this animated, because I've seen Tyrande, and she's also one of my favorite characters. I've seen her in other cinematics. I've seen how she acts in certain situations, and how they would show her face, but in this one in particular, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know, like, there's just this fire around her. It's unbeatable. It's unbeatable, really. Okay, let's continue.
Penance will save countless lost souls. A fate that would not have come to pass had I slain her in Ardenweald. Perhaps that is why Mother Moon stayed my hand. I thank you for your aid. Soon I must return to Azeroth to begin healing the Kaldori and preserving our future.
For so long there had been little more than hatred and malice in our sister's eyes. To at last see a glimmer of the Sylvanas we knew, I had ceased hoping for such a thing. I am pleased we had a chance to speak with her, Verisa. I only wish we'd had more time. As do I. But if she stays true to her word and sees this obligation through, perhaps one day we will. It will never be like it was before. The pain she inflicted upon the Kaldoroi, upon the world. How could she ever answer for it?
I'm not certain she can. But if her penance brings any measure of peace to those she wronged, at least it is a start.
You are right, Lady Sun. Our family has endured so much darkness. We must find a way to cling to hope.
Yes, Little Moon. Mother, father, Lyrith. They are only memories. We thought our sister was as well. But now, we shall see.
Well met, King Greymane.
Regent Lord.
I hope the fate of Sylvanas Windrunner brings the Alliance some measure of peace.
Peace. You stand in the Shadowlands, Regent Lord. Ask the dead she sent here whether they feel peace. As for me, that's something I will never know. Not while the monster who killed my son still endures.
I understand. My people are haunted by the deeds of monsters as well.
And what of you? Are you hoping that the Ranger General you served comes back from the Maw, or would you prefer having your war chief again?
I spent most of my life alongside the Windrunner family. Sylvanas was my hero, and my friend. But the Banshee who nearly led the Horde to ruin was neither.
Then you shouldn't have followed her commands. Good day, Regent Lord.
Good day, King Greymane.
I can't tell you how relieved I am to see you safe, my king. Even after reading Jaina's reports, I can scarcely imagine the horrors you endured.
There were times I thought I would never escape the jailer's control. The things he made me do.
Those actions were not your fault. You cannot blame yourself.
I should have been stronger.
And Winrin, you are the strongest man I know. And when you return to Stormwind, the whole kingdom will tell you the same.
I can't go back, Ken. Not yet.
But the people need...
Turalian will keep the Alliance safe in my absence. And I know you watch over everyone we care about. Old Wolf.
Of course. Take whatever time you need. And when you're ready, please, come home.
Those we lost await us here, among these countless afterlives. Is there anyone you would seek out, Bane? For one last conversation before you return to the land of the living?
No need to spare my feelings, Lorthamar. You are asking if I wish to find my father. The truth is, I do not need to. His spirit is always with me, wherever I go, whatever I do, guiding me just as his ancestors guided him. And what of you? Is there someone you would visit, given this chance?
Prince Kael'thas. Long have I held the title of Regent Lord, all the while wondering if I was truly suited to lead my people. I would ask the last liege of Silvermoon if he regrets the choices he made. A chance to mend old wounds, and perhaps feel that the torch has truly been passed.
A feeling I understand all too well. I pray your conversation brings you the peace you seek, my friend.
A mortal life is so incredibly brief. I questioned whether any actions taken within that span of time could truly be worthy of eternal torment.
I confess that as an aspirant, I did not think of such things, only of duty. It was not until I witnessed Uther's plight that I recognized the injustice of the Maw.
Never again will a mortal soul be sent to its depths. All deserve a chance at redemption. Recent events have shown us that a single mortal soul In fact, every mortal soul can alter the course of eternity.
Indeed. For good or for ill. In the end, it was mortals and their decisions that shaped the fate of the Shadowlands.
As Arbiter, I will take that lesson to heart. Every soul will be treated with compassion and will be given a voice in which afterlife awaits them.
You can have anything you desire.
Okay guys, that was the last cinematic Sylvanas Judgment cutscenes, Shadowlands Epilogue and Windrunner reunion. Yes, the discussions between Lothramar and Greymane were very interesting. You know, when Lothramar was like, I think now the Alliance will have peace since Sylvanas Windrunner is gone to the Maw to face her judgment and everything like that, and Greymane was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. It doesn't matter where she's sent, what she's done, it just can't be repaired, you know. I lost my son to that woman. And I remember watching a video based on Greymane from Platinum WoW, when he was talking about, I think, the worst king in World of Warcraft, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it was called. But you'll see the video reaction right at the top there. So yeah, I remember that battle. I remember what the son did to protect his father, you know, from the poison arrow that Sylvanas was going to use against Greymane. And yeah, you know, and the Greymane was asking Lothramar, like, why did you follow this war chief who was not the Sylvanas Windrunner that you knew from the past? Why did you follow her? Why did you go along with her plans to destroy probably like Teldrassil and, you know, the destruction of the Night Elves civilization in that tree, and also continuing further on Lordaeron, you know, the atrocities she committed there as well with that what was it? It was some sort of green poison gas or something that killed enemy and foe, you know, I mean enemy and allies. Yeah, so I think that's a valid question that Greymane asked Lothramar. Why did you follow the war chief, Sylvanas? But I also remember from another Noble 87 video when he was discussing about Lothramar, you know, him being loyal to the Horde, as an organization, not necessarily the war chiefs of the Horde, but the Horde itself as totality. So I think Lothramar was much more loyal to the organization than he was to the war chief, just like how he was loyal to the organization and not to the war chief. What was his name again? Garrosh. What was his surname? Oh gosh, I forgot his surname now. Something Scream, Hell Scream, yes. Sorry guys, yes. Garrosh Hell Scream. He was not loyal to that war chief, he was loyal to the Horde. So I think it's something along similar lines with Lothramar, where he put all of his trust and his faith and his support in the Horde, but not in the war chief Sylvanas. But of course, he didn't really display it out openly like how he did with Garrosh Hellscream, because in that time, you know, he had the political backing of other factions within the Horde to turn against Garrosh. In this case with Sylvanas, she had a very strong title hold on the Horde, and not everybody agreed with Bane and with Lothramar in saying, let's question the decisions of the war chief. You know, what she is doing here is not right. But yeah, I understand where Greymane is also standing with that situation. And King Anduin is deciding to stay behind in the Shadowlands, probably wanting to find himself again after being used by the jailer, making him do some terrible things, and that's also very much understandable. And the Arbiter, like I said before, he didn't sound like someone who would, you know, dispense justice in a very harsh kind of way. Like if you did terrible things in your mortal life, in the afterlife you're going to be sent directly to the maw. He's not that type of person. He wants people to be rehabilitated and to be brought back into society, if I can say that. I'm just wondering, what will he do with people who are like Garrosh Hellscream? Because Garrosh was not, he didn't feel any remorse or pity or anything for the actions that he committed. He never felt sorry. He would do it again. That's what he said, you know. He said, everything that I've done before, I would do it again. So I'm just wondering, what would he do with people like him? You know, those who are filled with so much pride and so much belief in themselves and what they're doing is correct, even when it is horribly wrong. What do you do with people like that? I wonder what is he going to do with people like that as the Arbiter. But yeah, you know, good luck to him as well. And yes, everybody else, Bane. Well, we didn't hear about Thrall. We didn't hear anything about Jaina. The sisters of the Windrunner sisters, yes, we hear them, you know, discussing amongst each other. Lady Sun and Little Moon. Those are cute names, cute little nicknames. I'm just wondering what was Sylvanas' nickname, since her sisters were Lady Sun and Little Moon. Yeah, we heard from them saying that they're going to try and, you know, mend old wounds and try to rebuild their family as much as they can. And yeah, I guess everybody's going back to the world of the living except for King Anduin. He's staying behind. Tyrande has to rebuild her civilization, her people, and yeah, it's a bittersweet ending. Yeah, it really is a bittersweet ending to Eternity's End. Many people are still left hurt after this situation. Like, there's no happy ending for many people. There's just nothing. They just have to go back now to the world of the living and try to pick up the pieces from this terrible catastrophe that was created by these forces that wanted power for their own ends, you know, after sacrificing so many people. So yeah, it really is a bittersweet ending. And I just wonder, what will the next game cover? I mean, we have finally reached the pinnacle of existence and non-existence, you know. We've been to the creation of all matter and life and worlds and gods and everything. You know, we've been to Eternity's End. What's next after this? What's next? So yeah, I'm very curious to find out what's going to happen in the next installment of World of Warcraft. And guys, I guess that's it. If you like the video, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye bye.